That sage of sages, Mick Jagger, once said, "I can't get no satisfaction." Now, grammar aside, his statement is an essential element to human progress through history. Hello again, my fellow history aficionados. It has been said that if you're not cognizant of past history, you are destined to repeat the same mistakes, or something like that. But today, we're going to look at why people are not motivated to achieve more. Or, as Mick likes to sing to us, why time is not on your side, why you can't always get what you want, why you're shattered, why many people look at themselves as beasts of burden as their tears go by, and why most people's attitudes look at their current situation and paint it black. However, we at Project Eli, where we educate, lead, and inspire, focus on solutions and how-tos. And we remember from every failure, a seed of success evolves. You just have to know where to find it, and sometimes you must dig deeply to unearth it. Now, upon further examination of Mr. Jagger's contributions, you will find that he does, in fact, provide us with a musical solution. To wit, here's the preview. First, you must become a midnight rambler, and second, you must adopt the refrain of "let's spend the night together." So Eli, upon further review, there is sympathy from the devil. All right, Eli, let's get to some historical cases and discover how progress is made and why progress gets stalled. Let's begin with ancient times, with the caveman. What were the daily objectives of our earliest brethren? Now, you have asked me often, Eli, partially in jest, "What was it like to be a caveman, Dad?" Now, to satisfy your playful queries, I will respond to you in the first person using my caveman persona. Now, Eli, my first caveman concern was survival. I didn't want to be beaten by my fellow human inhabitants or eaten by the creatures that roam the earth with me. The solution to this fear became my one and only initial focus. Now, as I would fall asleep each night, I would envision myself surviving another day. Now, one day I stumbled upon the branch of a tree as I was being attacked, and I used it to fend off a wild, salivating dog. Or was it a wolf? I don't know. That gave me other ideas. The most useful one was that I could develop the tools at hand as weapons against man and beast. Now, my second concern was hunger. I gotta eat something, but what am I gonna eat? Now, this question occupied my mind as I nodded off to sleep. Then, one morning, I saw two amazing things. First, I saw some birds and some squirrels munching on a plant to alleviate their hunger. I decided to model my earthly cohorts and nibble on some fruits and vegetables that were all around me. Good stuff. Now, I decided to keep my eyes on other creatures and notice how they survived. And it didn't take long to see some of the animals attack, kill, and consume some of the smaller animals. Perhaps by improving my weapons, thought I can not only defend myself, but also pursue and kill some beasts for the sustenance that they could provide for me. Now, my third concern was to protect myself from the elements of weather. Rain, snow, wind, and extreme heat made me feel very uncomfortable. Now, this thought occupied my mind nightly as I drifted into unconsciousness. One morning, I awoke with the words, "Give me shelter," embedded in my brain. Sorry, Mick, I thought of it first. I watched some of the animals take advantage of the fact that they could remain drier if they went into a cave or took refuge under a tree. Now, modeling these creatures can be enlightening. I also made the discovery that using a cave or taking cover under the shade of a tree provided me with some relief from the heat. Then, one day, these bolts of light came down from the sky, followed by a thunderous noise. When these bolts of light struck a tree, it caused a major destruction in most cases and started a light to come forth from the tree while simultaneously making the tree disappear into dust. Upon closer observation, I could feel heat emanating from the tree until the light went out and the heat stopped coming. Wouldn't it be great if I could find a way to produce and control that heat and light so I wouldn't be chilled to the bone on those very cold nights and allow myself to see in the darkness? As I gradually assumed my nightly state of tranquility, my thoughts were consumed by this heat and light. I went back to the tree to see if there was some clue how to recreate it. I tried everything. I talked to it, I threw rocks at it, and then one day, when the tree was very dry, I threw a rock and a spark developed. I started hitting the tree with rocks and tree branches, and finally, one day, I started to rub two branches together. What I had envisioned while sleeping was starting to happen. Light and heat came forth. I don't know what made me start rubbing the sticks together. The thought just came to me, so I tried it. And boy, did it take a lot of different tries before I got one of them to work. Well, now I have everything, I thought to myself. Safety, food, shelter, light, and warmth. What more can there be? Abundance. I'm satisfied. I no longer have to rack my brain with a single focus because I'm comfortable. Now, this moment was the birth of destructive abundance. Returning to the present day, I first came upon this term from the writings of Simon Sinek. He defines it like this: destructive abundance. Abundance can be destructive not because it's bad for us per se. Abundance can be destructive because it abstracts the values of things. The more we have, the less we seem to value what we've got. Now, I'd like to add to Mr. Sinek's definition. The more we have, the less we see that can be added to improve our situation. We become satisfied that we have it all. This effectively stops us from dreaming and plants us on a treadmill that allows us to move but doesn't advance us. We start thinking about what we already have, devalue its existence because we already possess it, and wander into the land of complacency as we compare ourselves with what we conceive others might have. The only thing that truly motivates most of us is the fear of loss. We may lose our job, we may lose our apartment, our companion, our car, and so on. Why should fear be our chief motivator for improvement? Mostly, it's because we don't spend any structured, quiet thinking time visualizing, what could be. Our habits define us. And motivationally speaking, my son, success breeds and encourages more success. Let me prove that to you. Now, do you remember, Eli, when you were, probably don't, but you were 4 or 5, and we had a very large living room. One of my greatest pleasures was pitching a wiffle ball to you and teaching you how to hit. You were frustrated at first, but as you continued to improve, you became very proficient. And I knew it was time to make the pitching more challenging for you when you would hit me in the face with a line drive. And boy, did you love that. Then you became old enough for t-ball. And I remember when you won a game for your team with a very, very nice hit. You were super pumped. After the game was over, you made me take you to the playground and we fielded, hit, and threw for another 2 hours. You slept like a baby that night. and I smelled like Ben Gay. Now, the same experience happened to us in basketball. You wanted to play the taller, craftier old man one-on-one. But all I did to dominate you, yes, dominate, was make sure to make you use your left hand by blocking your right. You were frustrated but determined. You began to practice using your left hand. You began to learn some spin moves, and you're determined still to beat me. Now you're getting faster, more coordinated, and I'm getting older and slower. It's too bad I can't teach you how to become taller. Now it won't be long before your dream of one-on-one mastery over me will be realized. You're always telling me that it's going to happen, and I know that trash talking is part of your dream. So what are the major points of today's lesson? First, you must have a dream. You must visualize it religiously and take advantage of a few things. When you obsess upon an advancement, you enable the universe to partner and help you by providing you with some mind flashes. Your obsession also wires your brain to see things that you previously overlooked and apply them to a solution. Like when I went to sleep visualizing the solutions of protecting myself from the beasts of the earth and being able to recreate fire for warmth and light. Second, modeling others that are achieving is the fastest way to accomplish a similar objective. Like when I modeled the animals and their eating habits. Third, as you make progress, you become hungrier and hungrier for more progress. Momentum seems to exponentially increase your desire. Like when you, Eli, had some success playing baseball and were driven to practice more. Fourth, the virus known as complacency is toxic to progress. You see, once you become satisfied with your achievement, that's the time that you want to start planning your epitaph. Like once you feel comfortable with your achievements, you become demotivated and satisfied, and you're not dead, but you're getting close. So to sum up the teachings of Mick Jagger, maintaining the mindset of I can't get no satisfaction will keep you dreaming of new ways to improve and innovate. What are the key ingredients? Become a midnight rambler in that 5 minutes between being awake and falling asleep. And consciously plant the seed of your desire as a singular purpose. This creates an obsessive thought, a burning desire. Remember though, and this is important, to let it go and allow your subconscious mind to work unshackled to find your solution. Don't focus on the how when you're sleeping. That handcuffs your subconscious because your mind can focus on only one single page while you slumber. Remember, your subconscious has the entire encyclopedia at its disposal. Remove those handcuffs. Focus on the what in its completed form only to allow focus on the what in its completed form to allow your subconscious mind the greatest measure of freedom. This allows out-of-the-box ideas to be born. And finally, order your subconscious to come up with the solution that you're seeking. Even though you'll not be conscious while it is working for you, remember to say to your subconscious mind, the universal partner, let's spend the night together. Develop the habit to make this request your last conscious act before you drift into a state of unconsciousness. Now, the next time that we get together, we're going to examine 3 keys to not giving up. To ensure that you don't miss that, make sure that you click on the subscribe icon and ring the bell. And if you found value in this video, please hit the like icon and leave a comment or a suggestion, as well as sharing it with your friends. And of course, don't forget to review the description box, as always. Our thought for the day reminds us of the value of daily, quiet thinking time. It is from the great inventor, Nikola Tesla. The mind is sharper and keener in seclusion and uninterrupted solitude. No big laboratory is needed in which to think. Originality thrives in seclusion, free of outside influences beating upon us to cripple the creative mind. Be alone. That is the secret of invention. Be alone. That is when ideas are born. And because we never end a meeting on a philosophical note, let's get out there and charge! I'm Eli's dad.